Hey everyone, welcome to another Anime Kingdom First Impressions. As you see by title below, yep, this is of course on episode 1 of Sword Art Online Alternative Gun Gale Online. Yeah, woo, that's quite the mouthful. We'll just go with SAO Alternative. But when I first saw that this anime was going to come out, I was interested for the fact that obviously I am an SAO fan. I do like SAO. But, of course, you know, the one arc that I felt was probably the worst in my opinion, and probably in a lot of people's opinion as well, is the Gun Gale Online arc. Though I am, of course, a huge fan of shooters, I play shooter games all the time, and I was actually hyped up when, you know, Gun Gale first came, you know, was announced and everything. That would be what's going on. It's like a virtual gun game kind of thing, you know, a virtual shooter. That sounds awesome. But, of course, with the original SAO, Kirito, of course, he's obviously a sword user, and what we got really was some gun here and there, but more Kirito just, you know, Star Warsing it up and reflecting all the bullets and rushing at people with a sword with the occasional boom boom with his pistol, and then of course Sinon with their sniper. But we didn't really get much gunplay from Gun Gale Online, which is why when I saw this was going to come out, I was excited. This is supposed to be an alternate version, not alternate version, sorry, an alternate story in the Gun Gale universe. So I was excited to see how this would be. My first impressions, obviously, when I first saw, you know, the trailers and the, what's it called, visuals and everything before the anime came out, I was a little iffy because I didn't know how this character, the way she looked, our main character Lynn, I didn't really know how it would be because she seems just like a small girl. Doesn't seem like her clothes and everything don't really match this kind of, you know, the Gun Gale universe and everything. And like even when we're watching in this first episode, it's kind of weird for most of the episode until the very end. It seems like she doesn't really know much. She's kind of super nervous. She's like doesn't know what she's doing and everything. And I don't know, I didn't really care too much for her character. This is, of course, the first episode, and the story of this anime so far from the first episode, my first impressions of it, I'm not really too sure what the story exactly is. I'm guessing it's the story of this character, because at the very end, there's all these fangirls pretty much like, oh my gosh, it's, you know, Miss K, I think that's what they called her, and she's like, I guess, I'm not too sure if this is because she's older now, or she literally still is playing, like, I'm not too sure if that's a time skip and they're watching like a old video, or if she just, I guess her avatar for some reason is her when she's a lot smaller. Because normally when the avatar is shown, it's pretty much, besides the fact that Kirito's one ended up being a girl, it pretty much matches all the characteristics of the character for like height and, you know, other like body kind of, you know, pretty much arm length, leg length, height, weight, that kind of stuff. It's pretty much exactly the same. Opie, you know, yeah, it's pretty much the same. But when we see with her, she's a lot older, kind of looking a lot taller, and Lynn is her avatar version is a lot smaller, and it just seems like maybe it's either one, her avatar is just younger for some reason, I don't know how that works, or two, this is of course like showing this story of Sword Art Online Alternative is like a story of her becoming better, a pro maybe in the Gun Gale universe. Like I said, I'm not fully sure on what Gun Gale, you know, Sword Art Online Alternative Gun Gale Online, the story fully is at the moment, honestly. And that's why I'm gonna wait to see how the next couple episodes will go before I kind of determine how I feel about the story. Because like I said, this episode kind of just throws you straight into the action, and I don't have a problem with that because it was pretty awesome. As a recently one of the biggest game genres right now at the moment is battle royale genre, so this fits really well with a lot of the community, because the gaming community, because a lot of us already know how battle royale games are, and it's pretty cool to see it in this kind of terms, like a virtual reality kind of thing, you know. And the pretty much most of this episode is literally just action gameplay, and it's pretty cool because unlike I said before with Sword Art Online, the original with Gun Gale Online art, there wasn't as much strategy. It was more Kirito just rushing in, blocking all the bullets and everything. There wasn't like these kind of squad-based strategies to which we saw in this episode. We saw an actual, which makes sense, like this would happen, like literally armed forces kind of things, like police and everything, as a squad fighting in the game, using it as practice for, you know, the real life situations and everything. And it makes sense. It's actually pretty cool. And we see them in action and it's like, damn, these guys are badass. These guys are pros and everything. And it's not your crazy, you know, just Kirito overpowering everyone with a damn sword kind of thing. Like, I love Kirito, okay? I love him and I love the story of Sword Art Online and everything, but that always got me with the Gun Gale universe. Instead of having like a actual gun kind of thing, we had it where Kirito was just rushing in with a sword, which is why I feel that now that we have a gun user actually being the main focus and the main character of this, we may actually see more of how Gun Gale Online is supposed to be, you know? That's why that's why I was super excited when I saw this episode, and seeing all the strategies from both the the big dude. It's like a huge dude and a small girl. His bag is so big she can literally fit in there, to which of course later on we see her literally popping out of a suitcase. Like, they're like, where is she? She's supposed to be on this street. And like, I'm like, she's hiding somewhere. Maybe something's covering a manhole. Instead, no, she's actually in a suitcase. And this is the part where I get like, I'm kind of confused, honestly, because before this point we see like real life kind of tactics and everything. We got some people not even give a crap. They just have machine guns that just spraying. We got the tactical you know, of like real life pros and everything. And then of course we also have like that one part when the guy was like, hey, is anyone alive out there? It's like, yeah, you're playing the game, dude. You can see the life bars of your squad. And the guy's like, yeah, I'm over here. And he, like, I guess he doesn't really fully know who his squad is. And he turns around, the dude just shoots him. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And then a bunch of guys come out and kill him and like, yeah, we're gonna get people when they're not, you know, prepared, when they're not paying attention after the fight kind of thing. And that was awesome, because that's literally how games are. That's how shooters are. People do that kind of thing, especially in these battle royale situations and everything. You kind of wait for people to fight and everything, and then you come in and reap the rewards and everything, you know, right after the fight. It's taking advantage of that situation. Of course, obviously after that, they ended up getting killed by a bunch of grenades from the pro squad, but these are pros and everything. And this is why after that part I was like, damn, how are they going to be able to beat them? There's only two of them. Sure, this guy seems like a good sniper and everything, but I'm not too sure about Lynn, because so far we haven't seen much confidence out of her, much skill out of her. We haven't even seen her shoot. Her gun is a P90, which is a good gun. It's a submachine gun, has to be really up close, which obviously against a lot of them may, you know, be a problem. And the whole fact that she calls her gun Peach-on and she's wearing all pink, to which they could see her like a mile away. I don't know. At first I was like really iffy on that. And then she pops out of the suitcase, and I guess that's why she has bunny ears on her hat kind of thing, because she is super fast. I'm not too sure how this works, because it's very inhuman. Like, even the guys were saying, what the heck? What are you? Are you even human? And that's why they end up canceling it. The other two, the sniper and the other guy, just say, okay, we're out, and they leave the tournament, because this is just supposed to be for practice. And they're not trying to fight in the real world. There ain't no person that can run that fast. I'm not too sure how she can do that, where that power comes from, because like, it's not, skills like that in the game aren't put in. So I'm not sure if she's just like super fast in real life, but that's just inhuman speed. So I'm not too sure how that works at all. And it kind of goes back to the whole Kirito running in with the sword kind of thing. So I'm not too sure how I feel about that, but I still am excited to see how the rest of the episodes will go. Since the next episode is called GGO, I'm expecting more, I guess, of like, we're talking about more about the story of how Gun Gale Online really is and everything, because we got a little bit of that in Gun Gale Online originally, the original arc, but maybe we'll learn more about the game, you know, in a different way, and also from a different standpoint, story point of Lynn. And maybe we'll learn about, since we do see her in real life and we see her in the opening in real life as well, we'll probably see some real life kind of stuff going on with her, with not in her avatar form. So that should be interesting as well, to see how this character, who we see her in real life, it doesn't seem like she'd be a gun, you know, a shooter kind of character, you know, person. And even put in the game, like I said before, I don't really feel that she belongs in that world, but she proved me wrong when she's a Speedy Gonzalez, just wrecking everyone with the P90, using the bodies, because the bodies are they count as immortal objects. So they're literally a wall. You can have like a wall of dead bodies of your enemies and just use them as shields. That's kind of crazy, but after seeing that, yeah, that's a pretty valid tactic and everything. And I gotta say this, the whole time that she was running around shooting all of them, M didn't do a single thing. It didn't really make sense. He's supposed to be a sharpshooter. He has a sniper. I expected when she popped out and she was distracting them, running around shooting them, using the body as a shield, that he would come in and start shooting them from afar. Really, he didn't do a single thing. At first, the whole thing at first is kind of weird because first off, it seems like a duel. There's only 2 of them, while all of the rest of them have squads. And it's not only 4 people. Some of them have 5, some of them have 6. I'm not too sure, like, what's the limit for a squad, for one thing. And at first, it seems like he's the one that's the leader, even though she's actually supposed to be the leader in the group. But he's the one calling out the shots, all the strategy and everything. And I expected him to have some skill as well, because he could tell all these things. Like, maybe he can shoot really well too. But we don't see that at all. I don't know if they're trying to save it up for the next couple episodes or something. But I just found that kind of weird, honestly, in my opinion. But yeah, overall, I gotta say, this first episode doesn't explain a lot for what the story is going to be, but it does show us a little introduction of who our characters are. It does show, how Gale Online is actually supposed to be. I mean, besides the fact that she is somehow has super speed, the rest of it, like, this is what I expected a virtual online shooter to be. Sure, you can have how Sword Art Online, was before, Alfilm and everything. That's fantasy kind of stuff. It makes sense to have magic, swords, arrows, and stuff like that. But when you have a Gale, a gun game like this, I expected more gunfights. I expected more of this kind of strategy around what we saw in comparison to how it was in the original Sword Art Online Gale, arc and everything. That's why I'm really excited to see how the rest of the season does go, because from this first episode, I think it did pretty well. I thought it was pretty fun and enjoyable and pretty damn cool. It definitely played off to my, shooter gaming side, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I felt like this was me in a battle royale kind of game. Like, I was thinking, like, how it would be, how I would play and everything. And they had a lot of those kind of examples, like I said before, with that one group coming in, taking advantage of the battle at the very end, That's how games really are. That's how people really play games and everything. That's why I thought it was cool. But yeah, hopefully it continues to be on this good trend. Hopefully we get more development for our characters. Like I said, I'm not really too sure how I feel about Lin at the moment, and M is kind of, I don't know, he's just a dude that knows his strategy. He seems pretty cool and a big guy, but we still don't really know much about these characters. But of course, like I said, this is the first episode. It's more of an introductionary to the world, kind of reintroducing us to Gale Online and showing how it should be, and of course showing how, I guess, like a giant squad battle is in the game. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be action all the time like this, but after seeing this episode and seeing the action, what we have in store for us when there is more action, I'm definitely excited to see how the rest of the season does go. But yeah, that's all I really gotta say, guys. Actually, wait a minute, hold on. There's one more thing I have to say. I actually almost forgot about this. We gotta talk about the opening and the ending, because I can't believe I literally always talk about this at the beginning, but I really did want to get into the story of what happened in episode 1. I already had all these things I wanted to say. I literally almost forgot to talk about the opening, because straight up, the opening, I actually really did enjoy it. I love the song. It definitely has the feel that, all the other SAO songs. Like, I gotta admit, I think there's not a single song of SAO that I didn't really care for. I've actually really enjoyed all of the opening songs so far, and this one does not change either, even with the fact that this isn't, SAO, this is SAO alternative Gale Online. But the visuals did a good job too. Definitely gave me those Gale feels that we got from the original Gale arc opening. So they did a good job with that. And usually I grade an opening. Yes, a lot of times, sometimes it sucks because some openings do spoil a lot, but I grade an opening based off the song, obviously, based off of how the visuals coincide with the song, and then of course kind of how hyped it can get me for the rest of the season. And I gotta admit, after seeing these visuals, I'm definitely excited to see how the rest of the season will go. I'm pretty damn hyped up, along with, of course, how episode 1 did as well, because I thought it was a pretty good episode. But yeah, I think they did a good job with the opening, so kudos to them, because honestly, I didn't really care too much for the ending. It wasn't anything special. I'm not saying it was bad, guys. I'm not saying it was bad, but I didn't really care too much for the ending, if I'm going to be honest. But it was an okay ending, but the opening was pretty damn awesome, I'll have to admit. But yeah, now I can officially say that this is all I gotta say. So hope you guys enjoyed this Anime Kingdom first impressions. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If there's anything missing you want to talk about, comment below as well. And if you did enjoy it, like, if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe for more content. And as always, guys, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. You guys have already heard mine. I want to know how you guys feel about this episode. Your guys' opinions, good, bad. What are you hyped for? What are you excited for? What are you disappointed for? Anything. I want to hear how you guys felt, because honestly, I think this has a lot of potential. I honestly do think that this season has a lot of potential, and I can't wait to see how the rest of the season does go. Hopefully it continues on this trend. Hopefully we get better story, better, character development and everything, because like I said, the action so far and what's been shown in this episode, it's got me pretty hyped up, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, it's all I gotta say, guys. Please enjoyed, and until next time, see ya.